In the war-torn, shadowed and secretive grounds and undergrounds of the Gaza Strip, an extraordinary manhunt is unfolding, targeting Yahya Sinwar, the elusive leader of Hamas, who has been hiding since October. Despite a concerted effort by Israel, backed by advanced technology and a coalition of international intelligence, Sinwar has managed to remain one step ahead. According to a recent New York Times report, this intricate pursuit almost succeeded in January, revealing the challenges faced by those determined to bring him to justice. The investigation, led by the New York Times, exposes the elaborate and high-stakes measures undertaken by Israeli forces and their allies to locate and eliminate Sinwar. The report underscores that U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan confirmed the involvement of specialized American teams, assisting Israel with cutting-edge equipment, including ground-penetrating radars. These tools are instrumental in penetrating the vast network of tunnels and bunkers within Gaza, where Sinwar is believed to be hiding. Yahya Sinwar, since the devastating attacks of October 7th, has become a ghost in the media, leaving behind almost no trace. His disappearance from the public eye and his rare communications with followers have only deepened the mystery surrounding his whereabouts. Intelligence services from both Israel and the US are convinced that Sinwar has long forsaken all forms of electronic communication. This drastic measure is a strategic move to evade what is described as a very elaborate surveillance network, which once closely monitored his every move. The New York Times report also details a near capture in January, when Israeli forces conducted a daring operation targeting an underground complex in southern Gaza. Intelligence had suggested that Sinwar was in the vicinity, but he had narrowly escaped, leaving behind a trove of valuable documents and a significant amount of money. This close call has only intensified the resolve of those pursuing him, with both Israel and the US pouring substantial resources into the hunt. The stakes are high, as Sinwar's elimination would likely have a profound impact on the ongoing conflict. Unlike many other terrorist leaders, Sinwar is not content to sit in the shadows while others execute his orders. He remains deeply involved in the tactical and strategic decisions of Hamas. Diplomatic sources involved in ceasefire talks in Qatar have confirmed that Sinwar's input is critical for any major decision. Despite the difficulties in communication, his influence is undiminished. Where once he was quick to respond to messages, now his replies are more sporadic, often channeled through his deputies. This shift has made tracking him even more challenging, as his communication methods have become increasingly opaque. Sinwar's abandonment of electronic devices, including cell phones and satellite phones, early in the conflict marks a significant change in his operational security. This decision, as reported by the New York Times, has frustrated Israeli intelligence, which had been monitoring his communications. It is revealed that Defense Minister Yoav Gallant advocated for allowing fuel deliveries to Gaza, specifically to keep power flowing in the Hamas tunnels. This move was intended to maintain the intelligence advantage by keeping Sinwar's communications online, a strategy that drew criticism from the far-right elements within the Israeli government. To maintain his grip on power and communication, Sinwar has resorted to a network of couriers, a method reminiscent of the one used by Osama bin Laden during his years on the run. However, the frustration for Israeli and US officials lies in the fact that, unlike bin Laden, Sinwar is not merely hiding. He is actively orchestrating Hamas's military operations. Despite the challenges, He remains the central figure in the organization, making critical decisions and maintaining control over the group's strategies. In the delicate and high-stakes negotiations over ceasefires and hostage releases, Sinwar's role is irreplaceable. He not only has the authority to approve agreements, but is also responsible for ensuring their implementation on the ground. This dual role as both a military leader and a political negotiator makes him an even more critical target for Israeli and US forces. As the hunt for Sinwar continues, the collaboration between Israel and the United States has intensified, with both nations determined to capture the man they believe masterminded the October 7th attacks, the deadliest in Israel's history.